Welcome back Silver Bull fans, welcome back to Silver Bull channel. Following on from yesterday's video, as you can see the Sago has indeed swelled and sort of just absorbed most of that milk. Okay, the other thing you're going to need for this, you're going to need 3 cupfuls of breadcrumbs. So that's just some bread put into a blender and blend it up. You're going to need to beat 3 eggs. I've got the 3 eggs here. You're going to need 4 ounces of butter. That's about 125 grams roughly of butter, which you will melt. You're going to have 2 cups of sultanas and a couple of raisins, and that's what I've got there. I've also added some currants just because I like currants. You like particular dried fruit, chuck it in, make the recipe your own. 1.5 cups of sugar. What's called a 1/4 pound of peel, which is just over 100 grams of peel, and also almonds and walnuts. You can either just have walnuts or just almonds. I like to put them both, and I try to keep the walnuts a bit chunky, although they're normally bitter. In this pudding, they absorb the flavour of the fruits and then become really quite tasty. So they're not bad, the walnuts in there. Alright, we're going to put this all together and see how we go. First of all, we'll start with our breadcrumbs and sago. Pour that all in together. There's the sugar. I mean, it really doesn't matter what order you put this in, it's all going to get mixed up together anyhow. I might pause it and beat the 3 eggs, so I'm not wasting time loading that up. The butter I melted earlier, so here we go with the butter. Health food made tasty. You also need a heaped teaspoon of allspice or cinnamon, or you can just put in a teaspoon of both, just, you know, for your own personal flavour. How much of cinnamon have I got here? Oh, there we go. And goes the cinnamon. Pretty generous with it. Oh, I love the smell of cinnamon. It smells so good. And what's this? It's a bit of mixed spice. I'll just pause the video and I'll beat in these eggs and chuck those in. And I just want to grab some allspice. Here we go. Some allspice. You can wait with me. I'll beat the eggs now. Alright. I'm never one for being too excited about how much spice I put in or stuff like that. And 3 teaspoons of bicarbonate of soda. Now, the bicarbonate soda is going to be raisin agent, a bit like baking powder. So, 1, 2, 3. Alright. Now I've just got to beat these 3 eggs. Bowl will do. You can watch. My son's here watching me make this, and this is the thing about family, you know, this recipe originally came from my great granny. And you know, it's good to teach your kids, have a bit of family history, something in your family that you pass on down the generations. And this I'm sharing with you because it tastes so great, so why should you miss out? Really, really nice. I remember eating these we used to go down New Year's Day, and we used to have this. So it wasn't really a Christmas pudding for us, it was a New Year's pudding, but it was great, and I'd have multiple helpings of this with custard, and that was after already eating a big meal. Alright, that's good enough. Put that in there. And now we want to mix the whole lot together, which is just pretty simple. Hopefully you can see this there. Just mix it all together. The breadcrumbs, the reason why you don't want them too moist is the breadcrumbs got to absorb some of the moisture from the milk and stuff. It's pretty wet. It looks pretty wet when you first do it. Also with breadcrumbs, don't use the store-bought breadcrumbs, okay? They are for store-bought breadcrumbs are for crumbing and you know, doing your crumb fish or a dish like that, a crumb steak. They are not for this type of recipe. Use fresh bread, well, fresh bread. I mean, use some white bread for this, and then leave it out for an hour or so to dry out a bit, and then you put it in the blender. So you can see you just want to mix that sago around so there's not too much in any one space. There's lots of fruit in this. Now the only other thing you need to add when you put it in the bowl is you may want to add at the bottom some plum jams. This is the bowl I'm going to use. A bowl just with some wax paper, a bit of plum jam in the bottom here. You can put in whatever you like, real plums, apricot jam, whatever flavour you like, and just oil it up so it's going to stick no matter what you do, but you know, put a bit of oil on to try and stop it sticking. Try and keep the paper to the sides if you can. Okay, just scrape all that stuff in. Try to flatten it out. This will swell a bit, so and then all you do, put a bit over like that, a bit over like that. It is a steam pudding. You're actually going to steam it for up to 5 hours. So you put that there like that, all ready to go. And then you just seal it with some aluminium foil, or aluminium foil, or tin foil as they call it. And you could put a string around here if you want. I'd just find if you tuck the aluminium around the rim here, it'll go under. Alright, I've got the pot over there steaming, ready to go. And that's all you do, you sit it there. Like I said, if you're really keen you can tie a string around it or something like that. I find just putting it under the rim does. Alright, you're wanting it to steam. It's alright if a bit of moisture gets under there, but you're not wanting it to get soaked, otherwise, you know, it will be boiled, not steamed. So that's the Christmas pudding all ready to go into the pan, and we'll chuck it in the bowl. Good, and this is the hard part, finding a bowl big enough to fit it. I've got it in, and now let me grab the video, I'll show you what's happening next. Okay, there it is. So you look at your clock and add 5 hours. And obviously you don't have to have it on a full boil the whole time. What you can do is you can turn it down a little bit and it'll just chug away there, boiling nicely. Every now and again you're going to have to add additional water. Don't worry about pouring it on the top, it'll just go down the side there. So every now and again, every hour, make sure you don't let it boil dry. And you put a lid on as well, which I'll do shortly. What I normally do is I just have a kettle boiled with hot water ready to go, so that when you add water to it, you're not adding cold water. Because if you add cold water, it will take a little while to heat back up. So you probably want to keep the water boiling the whole time, so you get that steam going the whole time for that 5 hours. And you just put the lid on top and let it steam away. Now, via the joy of YouTube, You won't see this 5 hours, but I'll show you the end results at the end, and we'll have some yummy Christmas pudding. Alright, Silver Ball fans, by the magic of YouTube and TV, we're advanced 5 hours. Now that's gone a bit black thanks to having the aluminium in an aluminium pot. Just the reaction of the tin foil. Oh, that smells good. If I can show you here, you'll see the pudding's now got a deep brown colour, and you'll just smell it when you open up. This really rich, cinnamony fruit smell. Now, just unpack the greaseproof paper, and you can see what I'm talking about there. Beautiful. Alright, plate it, just tip it upside down, there we go. Remove your pot, and now just remove the paper. Sometimes it can get stuck in there a little bit because it's been obviously boiling for quite a long time, so the paper can sometimes come apart. Just need to get in there, and you can let it cool down a bit so you don't burn your hands. It's not too bad. Still steaming, as you may or may not be able to see. Just grab a fork to get some of this off. You want to get rid of all the paper because you don't want to be eating that. You can see the plum jam that I put in sort of just soaked into the thing. Alright, so there we go, got rid of all the paper. And there's your finished product. Just smells beautiful. Just a lovely, wonderful steamed pudding. And the best part comes now, which is the eating. And this will keep in the fridge for quite a few days. When it's, if you want to reheat it, you can just stick it in the microwave, nuke it for a little bit, and it'll heat up. There we go, look at that steam, look at that, beautiful. And then of course, you can eat it just like that, but I find it's best with a bit of custard. Woohoo! Drown in custard now. My wife personally, she likes it with a bit of cream. So I'll chuck a bit of cream on here. There we go. Hardly health food, but again, it is the festive season, so that's good eating, and I'm going to get into that right now. That's a Christmas pudding recipe for you all. Give it a go, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed with the results. Silver Ball channel out.